everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Overcrank. I'm joined again by the lovely Sofi, and we've got an interesting topic that we kind of touched on in our last discussion together that I think gets lost with all of us gearheads going like, I have to have the camera gear, I have to have the camera gear, but you really need a good customer. So how do you get a good customer? So Sofi, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you, Todd? Very nice to be back on the show.
I always enjoy having you on. We have great conversations. So the last time we spoke, you used a phrase, and I might, if I butcher it, fix me. But I love the way you said, be generous with your customer.
Yes, exactly.
Tell me what you mean by that.
So the last time we talked about kind of like the business side of videography, I believe we touched on that. And I've discovered this idea that it really works best when you're not stingy with your customers and when you're really just plain generous with them. So for me, it looks like over-delivering a little bit, helping them more on the shoot, loading your brain to them sometimes, like thinking for them, offering ideas and stuff like that. And it also really depends on the field that you're in. But for me, a lot of my clients have a higher chance of becoming repeat clients and like consistently bringing me work if they like working with me. And that feature of like being generous with them has made the biggest impact in my business.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. If you are doing what you just said and taking care of your customer, that's a lot less. It's so much harder to get a new customer than it is to nurture a repeat customer.
I agree.
What is there? You could spend so much time beating the bushes to go, I got to get this other customer. But if you have customers that are just raving fans who love you and then also want to refer you to, that is way better because they keep coming back. And the referrals are great because now when I go meet that new person, they already like you. Entity. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's one that's happened to me on a couple of things with one of my customers right now. So I have this customer. It's a sweetheart customer for a video guy, you know. So the business is called Leadership Akron.
Okay.
And it's not one of my highest paying customers. But if you're anything familiar with it, Leadership, it's a nationwide program. I think there's something like 300 different leadership, you know, and name your city here groups. And so Leadership Akron has been around for like 30 years. And pretty much that network of people are most of the high profile business owners and donors for the whole city of Akron, right? You see where I'm going with this.
Okay.
So now they see me at their events every month and someone goes, hey, who's that guy? I need headshots done. They're like, oh yeah, I go in, I do a headshot and it's not very expensive. And they're like, man, when I need more stuff, I know who I'm going to reach out to.
Exactly.
And that turned into, I kind of have this kind of new ongoing gig with the Akron. You're going to laugh at this because you're not from the area. The Akron Rubber Ducks. What it is, it's the farm team for the Cleveland Guardians. So it's a minor league baseball team. And
oh wow, so that sounds exciting.
Like next Friday, I'm going to do an event photo shoot for them. So
okay,
cool. Yeah. So back to what you're saying. So how is it that you are generous let's kind of break it down. What is it you're doing that when you say, okay, I'm going over and above for my customer? What does that look like for you?
Oh, this is interesting. So for me, because most of my customers are within the same niche and I'm kind of doing the same things for them, I work mostly in real estate and I kind of shifted more into actually doing social media content for real estate agents. So even though those are different agents, but the type of work I do is very similar. So I'm able to also customize those over-delivering deliverables to also be very similar. And for me specifically, most of the time, it looks like not really putting a cap on the amount of photos I give them, for example, from a particular house. That is very big. And that is something I was doing in the beginning. I was like pricing depending on the number of photos. And it always felt like I am trying to hold on to something that really doesn't cost me a lot of effort to get 5 extra angles, but it might be the angle that sells the house. So now I personally feel a lot better when I know that I've captured everything and my clients do have more of a choice, and I'm charging them the same price. Like, I don't really need to be stingy about like $100, especially when you think about the lifetime value of a client, including referrals.
Yes.
It goes crazy. Like doing one shoot and charging $50 more, or not charging those $50 more and earning thousands within a year from the same client is like, the difference is that big. So one of the things is not really limiting the number of photos when it doesn't cost me a lot of extra effort to do that. Another thing is I also do like monthly content packages for them. And those do have a limited number of deliverables just because they are very precise deliverables. Like, for example, we do like a set number of videos, and I know how much energy and time and editing it takes me to produce that video. So I try to kind of keep it within the same scope. But if I see that a client has a lot of ideas that are easier for me to implement, I will increase the number of deliverables and not charge them more, because I know they're going to be coming to me every month after that. And it's worth a lot to me. And another point that has been pretty big is that loaning my brain point, just because I am very deep into like social media and what works there. And also I see what other people in the area are doing. I'm able to direct my clients better. And I take a lot of ownership in that like direction. And I really put my foot down sometimes and say, look, I see what you're doing, but your ChatGPT script is not really going to work there. Let me rework it and write it for you like word by word. I think it's going to work better. And it does work better. And this is something, another aspect of that is not just showing up to a shoot, but getting my client on a strategy call before a shoot, even if it's like a smaller monthly shoot type of deal. I still dedicate an hour, 2 or 3 of my time to get them on a strategy call, really hear what their goals are, process it through my brain, then kind of offer them a selection of content that we can create. And that makes it a lot easier for them because they feel like they're taken care of. It does cost me a couple of extra hours, but then again, I know that that client is going to be relying on me over anyone else, just because I really do help them in the ways that really matter, not just delivering, an extra video or something.
Yeah, that you touched on 2 things there that are, I think, kind of important. One, I like the idea of that strategy call, and not charging. I'm assuming you're not charging them for that. Like a consulting fee. Yeah, I do that. I do that same thing, not as structured maybe as you're doing.
Okay.
I would rather, I would rather give away a little bit of knowledge and help them so that when we show up and it's time to do the work, everybody's on the same page. It's a lot more comfortable and have proper expectations when I show up with all my gear. So that is a very smart move. I think the other smart move, it's difficult, and it depends on the customer. And you know what? Sometimes the funny thing is we can fire a customer, if they're not.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, you don't have to do everything. And I think by being a little bit more firm and confident in your decision-making, I think it puts you in a level in their mind of, oh, here's somebody who really knows what they're doing, and that is invaluable. I think it's a very smart move to do that. It's hard, especially when you're just starting out. And I don't mean, and I don't think you are either. I don't mean you become a diva, like I'm a director and let me tell you how.
Oh yeah, I'm an artist and this is my way. Yeah, no, we're not talking about that.
Yeah. It's more of like, I've done this a number of times and this has been my successful path, and I can help you with that same outcome.
Okay.
And I think that is a very valuable tool. What about after the job? Is there anything you're doing to kind of go over and above in your deliverables?
That is a good question. So Actually, yes, a little bit sometimes. Not much, just because most of like over delivering happens while I shoot. Like I would just do an extra something, but it has happened that I would either get a bunch of photos or like behind the scenes while the client is not even paying attention to that, and I will share that with them later. Either that or grabbing a few screen grabs from videos, editing them as stills, and giving that to them, even though they didn't ask for it. So that gives them a bunch of photos they could use on their social media, reel covers and stuff like that. And also, whenever I can, I try to share a shot or two from the shoot the same day with them. It is so important for them to be able to see it, like still keep the excitement and share it on stories and stuff like that. People love that so much.
Yep. I often do that. I don't think it'll ever go away. I've been doing this long enough. When something good happens, I get so excited that I captured that moment, and it's like I immediately show them either my video camera or my stills camera, and show it right there on the screen. And when you get this reaction of like, "Oh, that's awesome," you're like, "Yeah, I gotcha."
No, I agree.
Yeah, I just had one of those on one of the ones I did with Leadership Akron. It was just this very good moment where the guy who runs it and one of the people who were members, they were doing this high five with big smiles, and I just snapped the picture at that moment. I was like, nice. "Oh, I just got gold." And I showed it to him. He's like, "That is awesome," and that just reaffirms, like you said, that client. And I think, I don't know, I guess when you do this for a living, I think if you have a passion for it, it shows, and then the people they feed off of it. So yeah, I'd like that too. That kind of along the way, and it's sort of honestly, it's a little bit of affirmation. Like, am I doing okay for you, boss? A little bit. That's happening.
A little bit, sure. Yeah. But also, I think when a client hires you to like produce content for them, they really care about what's happening. So them also reaffirming to themselves that their investment is worth it right then and there gives them a little bit more of a peace of mind, especially if they're working with you for the first time. Like I show what's happening a lot to the clients that I work with for the first time, because they are nervous. They don't know what to expect, even though they've seen my other work for other people. But it's really important to kind of keep them sure that they made the right choice by going with you.
Yeah, that's actually also one of the fun things. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you go ahead.
Okay, well, don't forget your also. That's one of the fun things on my bigger shoots. I have my buddy Brent, who sometimes is on here, but he's his wife has the full-time job, and he's the creative like me, and they have two little girls, so he can't always do the live streams because he's going to softball games and all that stuff. So, but he's a really funny gearhead and a problem solver. And I have a bigger client. We actually bring out, I think it's like a 27-inch TV that's on a C-stand on wheels. And he does an HDMI out of the camera to the TV so they can sit back in another room, because that's the thing. You want them away, but be able to observe the process. And because sometimes when they're in the room, it gets to be a bit much. And it's better to have them have a little video village to go watch it outside. And so his setup is like, he's so funny. He's got like one of those emergency kind of batteries you would have for a storm sitting on this cart, so he can power the TV and everything else, and he can just roll it from room to room, and it's wireless, basically.
That's amazing.
It's a great rig. So again, sort of what you said, that kind of, especially for a new customer or a bigger customer, it gives them peace of mind when you're saying like, yeah, the shoot day is going to cost X, but then they see what you're doing and what you're bringing to the table, and they're like, oh yeah, that's why it costs that much. Exactly. It's an obvious, an immediate return. So what was your also?
Before I get to my also, I want to reply to this, because I agree that the experience they're getting with you matters almost just as much as the work they're getting, especially if the work takes you like a couple of weeks to deliver. I'm just remembering I've done like a big branding shoot for a business, and I so wish I had a way of kind of like displaying, like monitoring everything I do for them. There was a couple of people who rented a studio, and I was shooting both photos and videos, and I used 2 cameras. So it wasn't really like, I'm not advanced yet to know how to connect all of that to something that they could monitor, but it's just, it would be such a great like add-on to an experience of them being able to see the creation of what they paid for in real time. I even thought about, I've seen some photographers have their iPad like in a case with a lanyard so they can wear it and like show it to people. But also Lumix cameras are not really the greatest at like wirelessly connecting and not obstructing your workflow. I think Sony cameras are a little bit better at that.
We'll get you over to Sony soon.
I was just talking about this with somebody commented on my YouTube video where I kind of complained that my Lumix camera that I use for real estate doesn't connect wirelessly to my gimbal. And that is kind of like cumbersome when I'm trying to shoot in horizontal format because I can't plug in the cord and I just have to press the shutter button. That annoys me so much. So yeah, Lumix cameras can work on connectivity a little bit. And so we can show our clients what we're working on.
Right. Well, offline sometime I can at least walk you through what kind of setup we do for that monitoring situation.
I would love that.
I still haven't done a good one for photography. I would like to do that too. I need to look into that where it's going right to like Lightroom on my laptop or something so people can see it.
Oh yes.
I need to investigate that one. Maybe someone in the comments, if you're watching this, give us some tips because I would like that, especially for when I'm doing like a headshot session, and it's like, 30 people at like an event. I got to get headshots for. It would be nice to be able to have them. Yep, that's a good one.
And then start right away. Or like flag it right away. Exactly. I know you can do that with Capture One.
Capture One?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Are you familiar with that?
No, I'll have to look into it.
Oh, it's like a software, kind of like Lightroom, a little bit more complicated in my opinion. But they have, last time I've seen it used, you just connect an HDMI cable from your camera to your laptop, a very long cable. And then it goes straight to Capture One. You can do adjustments. You can crop in real time, like flag, star, rate, whatever. It's pretty convenient. I'm sure Lightroom should have that.
It probably does.
Kind of functionality.
I would have to. I will say one other thing too. And sometimes this is the harder sell for me. Because again, I work in sort of a smaller budgets than like Colden and Jake. But when I can sell somebody on the idea of having a makeup artist on set, I have one. I love working with this one lady. She's my rock star whenever I can sell it. And the whole experience is better for the customer. They're like, this is awesome. And it, what are we talking? An extra $600 or whatever. It's not like exorbitant. But once someone says, okay, let's do that. When she's on set, it's great for so many things, even for me. Because now she's watching the monitor and she's like, ooh, let me adjust her hair. Ooh, let me get that shine off. Like she's she's excellent. And she's just always right by my shoulder. But there's two things. I get a benefit, but the customer feels like this is a little bit of Hollywood here. Like they're feeling
exactly. They feel pampered.
Yeah. So I can't say enough about what you said before. Making sure customers feel like they're having experience. I think even on a bigger shoot, it's nice to even bring a little bit of craft services. Like, don't kill yourself. Don't blow your budget. But if you can bring some munchies, some sodas, whatever, man, everybody's having a good time now.
I agree. Yeah, you're just hanging out.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, now back to your also.
Yes, my also was about also not being stingy with your time with your customers, because oftentimes when you're in between like that passion versus business, especially in something like we do, it is very easy to add a little bit too much structure into your workflow and be like, well, especially for, a lot of people charge hourly and don't want to stay longer than they pay for. And then for a business like mine, it's very easy to do things quickly and like not really be a nice person on the shoot and just head out. And also this does not add to the experience of a person. But also I have one client that is really chatty. She could talk for hours. Yeah. And I make sure to spend a little bit more time during the shoot to just, pause and chat with her for a while, and I just see how this experience makes it better for everybody. Or also with clients that are a little bit more shy on camera, whenever you can just pause and chat and have a good time and have a laugh with them and share your experience, it just makes it a lot easier for them to open up, and again, creates a much better experience. And then next time when they're going to be choosing between videographers that are available, even though somebody may be a little cheaper or somebody may make work better than you do for the same price, they're probably going to come to you because it's enjoyable to hang out with you. It is invaluable.
You are, man. If we were in the same city, we'd be competitors. I don't know how I feel.
Oh, yes.
It's been my experience too. The guy that I am here is who I am. This is not a thing. And so it's always been my experience that my customers at the end of the day were like, boy, you just made that a lot easier than I thought it was going to be.
Right.
And that is gold.
That is gold.
Yeah. When they walk away going, oh man, I enjoyed that. And that was much easier than what I was expecting. Mm-hmm. They're going to be calling you again, like you said. Mm-hmm. Giving them that little bit of reassurance, taking the pressure off. It is funny how people get so nervous when that camera gets in front of them.
Oh, absolutely.
And part of that, in my experience, has always been, it's tough. Sometimes the customer doesn't get it. But when we're doing interviews, the first 2 or 3 questions aren't going into the edit.
It's a warm up.
We're gonna warm up. It's gonna be softball. It's nothing. And then as they start going, then you can start digging. And that's once they start going, now they've forgotten everything else. And I've said many times, now we're just having a conversation. And when that happens, best interviews ever. I just always love those. And like you said, they get done and they're like, oh, that was fun.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad, right?
Yeah, just a very different thing. I just had that yesterday. It was funny. At the radio station, I got to interview. It was kind of interesting because it was cool. It's a husband and wife musician pair. The wife was in the 1980s band The Bangles. Okay. Used to sing. She sang the first sentence, the first line of the Walk Like an Egyptian. That's the lady.
Wow. Okay.
And her husband is a musician, has been a lifelong musician and has done so many different things. But at his last gig, he spent 23 years touring with the Beach Boys. But when I first met them, I was like, he is going to be a challenge. He seems just grumpy, and then when I just started having the conversation and they were talking, it broke down. And by the end, I was like, that was nice. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us. And it was like this whole different vibe. But when it first started, I was like, oh man, I think this guy might hate me before we're done. He just does not want to be here. But I think he's just tired and he's been doing it a long time. And, it's just one of those things. But again, was able to soften him up and have an enjoyable conversation with him. Took a minute, but we can get you there. We'll get you there.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. It's also, I'm sure, hold on. Like, hold on, don't go further. No. I'm sure it is the same way for you, but being in front of the camera sometimes yourself, being a content creator, helps immensely in guiding your clients through kind of becoming comfortable on camera, because I'm sure you were also uncomfortable on camera at some point. Yeah. And through knowing that and feeling what they feel, it's so much easier to get them more like relaxed.
Yeah, you make a valid point. I think it's one of those things, though, as a content creator, you have to be willing to actually critique yourself and not think you're doing great. And I think if you're honest with yourself, when you first started, you're looking at it and going like, ooh, who is that guy? I strive not to be that guy. I strive to be as natural, and who this is who you, when I show up, it's the same guy. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you do, if you can audit yourself. I don't, some people seem to put on a show still. I can't figure them out. And it's not I'm not going to call anybody out, but some of them are just like, I feel like you're performing, as opposed to just talking to me.
I think it's hard to get over that at some point, because I feel like most people start performing on camera. That's what they feel like they should do. And it takes experimentation, and it takes being willing to feel cringy to stop doing that and just be you on camera. Also, it ties into the whole fear of being perceived, especially online, especially if a lot of people watch you. But that's a whole nother topic.
Well, and I guess that's the thing. If you're going to be worried about people watching you, this is probably not a vocation for you.
Yeah, because that's the whole point, right?
Right. The more people, the more successful you will be. That's the goal. And so
exactly,
you do have to get yourself where you're comfortable there. And that does, as you said, help your customers get comfortable, because you can kind of hold their hand through those initial stages.
Exactly. Be like, I've been there. I felt that. Here's how you come over that. It's going to be better on the other side. Trust me.
Yeah. Did we ever touch your also yet? You're also.
Yes. Okay. Also was not being stingy with your time.
Okay. All right. Just double check it. Yeah, that's one thing. But I will say I will balance that. Yes.
Oh, for sure. Mm-hmm.
But I have rates that are a half day shoot and full day shoot. My hourly is much higher because I would rather it's a lot of work, hauling all the gear in. So if you're going to have me for an hour, you're paying at the front end. But if I say, okay, just do a half day, it's not exorbitantly more than the hourly. And if it goes 5 hours, that's okay. 5.5 hours, that's okay. We get to 6, we need to start talking about maybe a full day rate here, because I don't know when we're going to be done now. And I will have that conversation. And I'm sure they're sensitive to it, because we schedule it. And at the front end, I'm like, here's my half day rate. Here's my full day rate. You want to schedule half day? We'll do that. And I'm not going to be stingy. Like I said, like 4 hours, I'm not going, no, 4 hours. But
cutting it mid-shot, I'm out.
Yeah. But as it starts to stretch, it's like, okay, well, we're either going to have to wrap soon, or we're going to full day rate. All right. So
it's also very important to know if the client is not taking advantage of you and only doing that for the right clients, basically.
Yeah. And to give an example of that, I don't know if we've talked about this. I've seen that, and I get it. It's union, but union creatives and union musicians, I've seen this play very strong, where I was like, what are you doing? Why are you being such a jerk about once they get into a union, like the mind shifts.
Interesting.
I work with a symphony in the area, and they're all union musicians, and they are watching every minute that they're being recorded, and they are paid by the hour. And if it goes over, now it's 2 hours. I don't know their rate, but we were on a shoot. I may have shared this story before, but I found it funny. We recorded everything, and the lady who runs the orchestra called me, and she's like, hey, can you tell me how long they performed? And I'm like, yeah, why? She's like, well, some were thinking it went like an hour 15, and we were going to owe a bunch more money. And I was like, okay, well, let me check it. And I said, now, is it the time their butts are in the chairs or performing time? She said, specifically performing time. I'm like, okay. Did the math, and I was like, oh, they only went 56 minutes, so they owe you 4 minutes. So she was like, sweet, I don't have to pay more money. And I was like, it was 56 minutes of performing time is what I recorded. But it was funny, like that I never want to be that guy to a customer.
That is stingy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think I get it. Like I'm going to backpedal a little bit. Being an orchestra union musician, that's a tough way to make a living, and so you're going to be watching your hourly rates. That's tough because so much time just goes into practice and stuff that you're not getting paid for, at home. I get it. Making just an illustration. I don't want to be like that with my customers for my type of work. That's what I'm saying.
I agree. There are different fields that you can get into, and there are different ways to make money. And it's kind of a matter of personal preference and what makes you feel good about what you do. And I would probably not feel good if I was in that position. And I do feel better with what I'm choosing to do.
Well, and I think that's your nature, right? Too. You seem like a very affable, easygoing kind of person. You're not going to be one to be a hammer, I don't think.
I think you're right.
Was there anything else that you wanted to talk about on this topic?
Actually, yes. We kind of touched on one topic that is very interesting and that I think confuses a lot of people, especially starting out, especially in this industry. It's firing clients. I'm curious to hear your take about this.
Yeah, I haven't had to do it much because you can usually tell at the front end if this person's going to be a problem or not. But it is not worth having a customer, like for instance, you say, okay, I have to cough. You say, hey, I'm going to give you this, a chance to review it, 3 edits, it's all included in the rate. And then they start to be one of those, well, and they just keep just
adding on little by little.
You can just lose so much time and honestly, not to sound stingy, and your profit margins start to disappear as you are getting needled away on that. Also, I hate if I have to chase you for money for too long.
Oh no,
I don't want to have to do that again. I do have a wonderful app. It annoys my customers, but it's just an app that I use for my phone, and I do my invoicing just on my phone. And 7 days after I send them the invoice, it starts reminding them automatically. And
that's great. I have the same system set up.
Yeah. And they'll often, it'll get to like the 30-day mark of like, all right, we sent that. We got it. We can send it. And I'm like, okay, well, once I get it, I'll make sure to turn that off. Because it's been very helpful.
It's so hard to, for me at least, it's very hard to actually, if somebody doesn't pay you, to go after it and write those reminders yourself. But when you just set it up in the system, it's not your fault, it's the system's fault, and it's their fault. So there's nothing you can do, it's just how it works.
I even make jokes about it. Oh, man, that app I use is just so intense. I'm sorry about that.
It's so annoying. Yeah. How did you get it to that point? Why didn't you pay me sooner?
It wouldn't happen if you paid me. But
right? It's there for a reason.
Exactly. So that is the case. Those are 2 cases where I would be like, yeah, I don't feel the need to work with you again.
That's true.
I don't have the time for that. And it doesn't have to be ugly, but it's just a matter of when they call back, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm busy. I am perpetually busy for those customers.
For you, I do not have any availability for you.
Correct. Yeah. What about
I always think about it as whenever you get to the point where your schedule is quite full, working with a client that eats away at your time or doesn't appreciate you much or that you're just not growing with, you're doing a disservice to the other clients by spending too much time with the client you really need to fire. And for me personally, it was a very, very hard switch of learning to not accept everybody and sometimes break up with the clients. Yeah. Even though like I've been working with somebody for a very long time and then I just see that it's not working out anymore. But it's always turned out so much for the better because by only working with people I vibe with, I'm able to provide so much better service to those people. And it's kind of like you're breaking up a relationship and allowing that other person, that other client to find somebody they vibe with. So there's always this stigma about like trying to make it work with every client that came your way. But I feel like there's so many creatives and there's so many clients going around that it is really going to work best for everybody if you only choose the people that really benefit the most from your service specifically and that, you grow with. It makes it better for everybody versus really struggling and spending days and weeks on a client that doesn't make you feel good, you don't make them feel good, and the results are kind of mediocre just because you're not on a creative flow together.
Yep. I was in sales early on in my professional life. And I remember this one rule of thumb that someone said, and they said that 80% of your customers, it's an 80-20 rule, 80% of your customers will only require 20% of your time. But 20% of the customers will actually take 80% of your time. And you have to be honest about that and get rid of those 20. Because you're losing the room to get new customers because these people are taking up too much of your time. That's not billable. It's just nonsense. And so that 80-20 rule is something I always kind of keep an eye on. If I've got someone that's like, oh, you're asking for a lot, we're not getting anywhere, I'm just going to move on to greener pastures. I can't keep chasing that.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, hopefully, and we're not done, but hopefully we're done with this topic, I think. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I wanted to, we had one other topic you mentioned, and I also wanted to talk to you about the fear of drones. What's going on right now? So, let's talk for a minute on the drone stuff, because you use a lot of drones in your work. It's important in real estate. Have you seen the latest retroactive kind of, it's not bans, but restrictions that are being put on by the FCC on drones that were already approved?
I've seen news about it.
Yeah, they're calling it military grade now because it has LiDAR. And that's insane to me. Which drone are you currently using? I can't remember. You told me.
I'm using a DJI 4 Mini. Is that what they are right now? Mini 4 Pro, I think. Yeah. The small 4.
Those are sweet.
Yeah, no, those are incredible.
And the imagery is really good. And that's you're safe. You're safe.
Okay.
I think the 5,
good to know.
The 5 is getting retroactively rolled back into this covered list, along with the Neo 2, which is my little baby I just got. I love that thing. Oh, no. I'm like, what? Now, it doesn't mean I can't own it, but I do have these concerns. We talked about it on the other show with Colden, because they're app-based, and there could be a point where DJI just goes, yeah, we're not supporting the Americas anymore. And now it just won't fly.
Yeah, I feel like that could easily happen, just because even with my 4 Pro, it's still, even though I use the remote, like the separate thing, it's still very much app-based. And over the last year, I think it started giving me more trouble in terms of they've incorporated this thing where they log you off every 30 days. So you have to log back in. And then I feel like a lot more restrictions, whether concerning where you can and cannot fly, have popped up. So I feel like if they wanted to shut it off, they will in a second.
Yeah. It's going to be very problematic, and I just don't see a solution. The Insta360 though still seems to be in the clear.
Have you heard of Sky Rover though?
Well, that's the problem. They're tied up in all of this FCC stuff.
They are.
Because some of their components, or most of their components, are DJI.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was Sky Rover was the same thing that Xtra is.
Okay, yeah.
It's like
pretty much.
Pretty much you're getting a DJI drone. And Colden and I talked about it on one of our shows, because they were lumped in with a bunch of other smaller companies that are all now having the same problem.
Okay.
So Insta360, the anti-gravity is maybe the one to get.
But I don't need a 360 drone.
Well, I know. I wish it was. I don't prefer the 360 camera for that application. But I think once you get used to it, you can actually end up with, you might have more usable footage than you think. I'm just used to aiming the camera and flying.
Picking your angle, shooting it, doing a camera movement.
Yeah. That you don't have to do, though, which is interesting, because instead it's like the 360 cam now. So now it's just the movement. And then in the software, you just say the swimming pool, track the pool.
True. Pretty much. Yeah. Which I think it's a little bit an overkill for most situations, just because you're capturing a lot of extra footage
Yeah.
basically for no reason at all. Unless you're doing some crazy FPV style travel videos, I don't think there's a lot of applications in a 360 drone.
I can't argue with you. It's a little bit of overkill, but I don't know. Hopefully they'll make one that's just a traditional drone that's not as expensive.
Yeah, just a drone.
Because that one's a little pricey for me. I don't have my license. I'm jealous of you, so you've got your license.
It's not, well, I had to. I was kind of forced to, because in order to get paid for it, you have to. And it was actually very funny, because when I was in the process of getting my license and I was just shooting for practice, not actually being paid for it, there was, my husband and I joke about it a lot. There probably is another real estate photographer in the area that have seen my Instagram stories about me flying a drone and have found a lot of my clients and harassed them into not working with me because I didn't have my drone license yet.
Oh, wow. Well, here's the thing. I get it, though. I mean, I get what they're doing. That was dirty pool. But the real estate agent, you would get a $5,000 fine, and the real estate
would get
agent
like a $40,000.
$10,000. Oh, it's $40,000. Yeah,
that's the number I remember.
Yeah, so you definitely need it.
You do need a license right away.
I fly mine for fun. When I have any professional work, I hire Brent. He's got his license.
That's good.
And he's actually a much better pilot than me. Like, I still struggle with doing some arc shots and things like that. He just I'll say, do this, and he's awesome pilot. So
nice.
Just
but also it's only like $200 and a trip to the airport, and you'll be licensed.
Well, yeah, I haven't even studied for the test. I should do it.
It is a very hard test, though. I struggled with it so much. I hated it. There's so much information that I will never use in my life, like pilot maps and stuff like that. No, it's worth it, but that was terrible.
That's where, unfortunately, I find myself. I'm like, I don't have the time and mental headspace to focus on that right now. I'm trying to rebuild my business, get my YouTube channel cooking, and I don't have time to worry about a license. When I need drone work, hey, Brent. Problem.
No, that's great. That's great. Yeah. That to have people you can work with, that you can form a team whenever you need them. Also, how's your YouTube monetization going?
I'm up to $77.
Good number.
So I'll get a check probably next month. I'm so excited.
Fun.
How about you?
I made a whole $10.
Okay. All right. Yes. Look at you. Yeah. It's a tough game. And I'm not really, I've said it before, and we've talked about this. I'm not all that concerned about the YouTube monetization itself. It's more about doing what we talked about, either brand deals or even selling my own products.
Yes.
Which I would prefer. So in my mind, that goes back to my sales mind, not everybody's going to buy something from me, right? So the beautiful part of having a large audience, if I could have 10,000, 30,000 subscribers, I would guess 1% to 2% of the people would buy products occasionally from my store. That's all I'm talking about. And I'm being realistic. Yeah, it's like a nice little, and that would make me more money than the YouTube monetization model.
For sure.
I will say though, I think it's cool. I don't know, did we talk? I know we've talked offline about this, but like how it's kind of popping up stuff to purchase.
Yes, the AI affiliate links. That's pretty handy.
I'm not complaining about that. That was a very happy accident when I saw that was happening. I was like, oh,
sure.
I don't even know how. Let's go.
Yeah, that's like one less thing for you to worry about. Correct.
Yeah, there are some other cheat codes that I've been playing with too that we'll talk about offline. I'm not ready to share yet.
Okay.
But I think you'll like this a way to get more content.
I'm very curious.
Yeah. Remind me when we're done.
Okay.
Everybody else, I'm sorry, I'm not ready to share yet.
You're not privy to that conversation.
I have to see how this works first, but I'm pretty excited about it. So what was the other thing that you had asked me about? I can't remember. Right before we started, you said, oh, we could also talk about that. something you wanted to talk about?
I do not remember.
Oh, no. Let me ask you this, though, while we're here. What are your thoughts? Have you heard anything more on Xtra? Are you looking to move into different equipment?
Okay. I have heard from Xtra. They have said that they're going global, which is interesting.
Okay. That is a weird move.
It is an interesting move. It sounds like they still don't have the green light to be like in the US market, but they also have said that they are probably done with the like production of the final unit of the Muse 2 Pros.
Okay.
And they're getting ready for it to actually be available for everybody. And one of my friends is a part of like their 100 creators program outside of the US. And he's getting his Muse 2 Pro in hands pretty soon. Like it's already shipped to him. So I'm very, very curious to know if I'm getting one and if like what it actually looks like as a finished product. Because I've been playing around with my test unit and it is, you can tell it's a test unit, although I do really love that camera, but it's not easy to work with. But I'm very, very curious to see what their final product looks like, what it, how it is to work with them. If they're adding something like a remote screen, like DJI have done, if they're having a microphone like a DJI mic, stuff like that, like whether it compares to using a DJI Pocket 4P or Luna Ultra, in terms of like actual usability. But that is actually pretty much all I know. And that kind of veers off into Luna has been on my mind so much just because I am so jealous of the detachable screen.
Yes.
There are so many moments when I really want to monitor myself and I use my phone for it constantly. And it's just, it would probably be a lot easier with a detachable screen.
Well, and that's the thing. Have you seen, well, you probably want the two lenses though. The Luna Pro is coming out. They've already launched it in China. And so it's the single lens version, but they kind of kept the best camera is unlike DJI in the Pocket 4, you don't get that really good camera with the 17 stops of dynamic range in the Pocket 4.
Don't you?
You only get that on the Pocket 4P. I don't think you do.
Really? I think, isn't that the whole point?
I don't know. If I'm wrong, hit us in the comments. I thought that you didn't get the same camera, but in the Luna, you're getting the same best camera, the 1.8, and they included the detachable screen, and they did everything the same, and a cheaper model. I think they say it's around $500 US.
That is probably going to be such a winner because I really enjoy using my original Muse a lot still because it has just a single lens, it's a smaller body, and it's I worry about it less just being in my bag loose without a case. And it's because it's smaller, it's just the form factor of that single lens little camera works a little bit better than the big bulky one. So I think Luna, whatever it's going to be, the smaller version is going to be such a tool for a lot of people. But I'm curious,
I think so too.
What is your experience with your Luna, and what is your experience with color grading it?
So I'm glad you brought that up. That's a great question because I'm actually going to do a video. I might try to record it when we're done here.
Okay.
For my channel. I love the Luna. It goes with me everywhere. I use it on shoots.
That is not what my wallet wanted to hear.
I use it all the time. I don't love the mic. It is a little bulky compared to the DJI mics, but the sound's good.
That's true. Do you know if it connects to a DJI mic?
You can connect to a DJI mic if you use the USB-C connect at the back of the camera. So
not wirelessly, no.
Mm-hmm. Not wirelessly. It does, I think, with Bluetooth, but Bluetooth sound is terrible.
Okay.
It's not the same.
Okay.
But here's the hack. I had been a little frustrated with the color grade of the 10-bit log only because it turns out I don't like what Insta360 created for their Rec 709 conversion.
Interesting.
And it was Gerald, and I didn't know what was the problem because I was like, it looks a little soft. It keeps having this sort of yellowish glow, green tint. I don't love it, and I have to do a lot of work with it. Along comes Gerald Undone, big time YouTuber. He did like the proper color science, and he just made a basic LUT that brings that 10-bit footage to a very clean image. It only cost $19, well worth it. And it is like, I drop it on, I was like, that's what it's supposed to look like. It's great.
Oh, wow.
I told Colden it messed it up for me because I'm probably going to have to buy the $27. He makes a pack. What's cool about Gerald Undone, it's not like creative LUTs. These are scientific color correction LUTs.
That's
and
nice.
His end product, he's got a whole page on his website. He's got Sony, Leica, Lumix. I think he's got them all. He's got DJI and he's got Insta360. And that LUT brings it back to matching, I think. So I kind of want to get that same LUT, even though I like DJI's color science, so that I can mix them easier. Like if they are at the same baseline, now I'm excited.
True. I know exactly what you're talking about because I kind of struggle with mixing footage. I've done a video that's in the edit right now and I'm going to post it soon. And it looks horrible from the color correction standpoint, just because I was kind of limited on time and I didn't do the match almost at all. I'm shooting on a Lumix, on a Muse, and Muse 2 Pro.
Yeah.
And all of those cameras are not matched at all because with Lumix, I don't even shoot in log. I just shoot in normal color profile. I actually am going to make a video about it because Lumix colors are great and like Lumix in normal is amazing. So I just keep it in that.
Sure.
The Muse though, I do shoot it in log, and then Muse 2 Pro, I shoot in Xlog 2. So all of those cameras look so different, and I could not get it matched in like the half an hour that I had for it, and it's just going to be atrocious. So yeah, bringing all of the cameras to the same kind of Rec 709 space is so useful.
I'm going to share something with you here. You're going to love this.
Okay.
So here you go. So these are all the LUTs he's created. And I mean,
that looks great.
And they all are specifically what he does. What's so interesting and what Colden said, he like does the work. So he goes through, I don't know if he shows it on here.
Could you send this to me too?
Yeah, I will absolutely send it to you. But he, I don't see, there is a DJI, but I don't see, it's probably going to be the same. It's probably going to be the same as the Muse, right?
Yeah.
But it works with all of these. Accurate, fully saturated color with a custom curve. You get a finished look with one step. Just boom, you're ready to go.
Nice.
And he the way he does it is the crazy part. Like you can tell just by this little image, he goes through the process of holding up those color cards and going through all the variables and getting it to where okay, now this matches this, this matches this. That's really worth the money to me.
I agree. I totally agree. We're so happy to have people like that on the internet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they make our lives much easier. I think we've talked about it, and I've talked about it kind of ad nauseum at this point. But sometimes the creative LUTs just aren't working for me. Mm-hmm. And I have a large collection of them now that I never touch. They sit on a production drive, and I don't even use them. I think and I talked about it on another live stream, my only application for that is I'm doing a music video and I want the whole music video to have a vibe. Mm-hmm. It's really my only application for it. For customers, never. It's just not, I don't know. I don't waste time. I'm not going to waste any more money on creative LUTs.
Well, you're saying that now, but I'm sure you probably will.
Yeah, well, I almost felt, there's another company, Cinecolor. I like their packages. And they keep getting me with these package deals. There was one that was today, and it was they're only going to sell 25 of them. I didn't buy it. But it was an enormous package of post-production tools from sounds and film grains and lots. And they were selling it for like $39. And I was like, oh,
Ooh,
man.
that sounds attractive. That sounds like something I should look into.
Well, I would totally, let me see if I can find it. I would totally encourage you to go to Cinecolor. Actually,
yeah, I've already pulled it up.
and look at their stuff. Like their stuff, I'm not sponsored, but I'll put.
But you could have been.
I could have been, yeah. Their stuff is really well done. They have a lot of neat packages, and they were running a sale today on something. See, there's always a sale. Mm-hmm. But yeah, these are the ones I kind of do keep in the back. I would subscribe to their email because that's where you get the sales coming in.
That's a good tip. Yeah, the only beef I have with Insta360 is that I was kind of choosing in between Insta360 S Pro 2 and the DJI Osmo Nano as like my go-to little action camera. And with the Insta360, I couldn't really find a good Rec 709 LUT to work with, and it wasn't really an easy process to color grade it. And with DJIs, I think just because so many people use it and so many people share like LUTs and conversion LUTs, it was just so much easier to color grade it. But now with Gerald Undon's Rec 709, Insta360's footage might be a comeback for me.
You might try it. So does that one that you're using have log footage?
The Ace Pro 2?
Oh, the Ace Pro 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought you were talking about the little tiny, those like.
Oh, no, not the Go 3S. That I actually had that camera. That was actually a brand deal with Insta360. Oh, I had that camera, that little one. It was probably the worst camera I've seen in my life. It was pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Especially comparing to Osmo Nano.
Yeah, the Nano does look cool. I don't know. The only problem I have with the Osmo Nano in my mind is it's still about half the size, I feel like, of just the action camera.
True.
And I just use the action camera. It's a little heavier.
It's pretty cool when you put it on your hat, like with a head mount,
look cool.
Or like on your chest. You're probably not going to do it with a bigger action camera. You might. I will probably not.
I do. I have like a magnet mount designed for my action camera, and I do use it as a chest mount.
Which one do you use though? The Action?
Action 6.
Okay.
And I am a huge fan of that camera.
Yeah, like because the footage is going to be the same, and if you already have an Action 6, it's going to be the same with the Osmo Nano.
And I don't think the Nano can do that. I love the Action 6 because it shoots. I think it's true open gate. Some people I guess there's an argument there, but it shoots the square form factor. Nice. And it's 4K in both directions. So yes. It's 3840 by 3840. I always just leave it in that mode, and I can crop it however I want in post, and it's fantastic.
It's so useful. Osmo Nano also has open gate. I'm not sure if it's square. I know it's more square, and it's been so useful. It's insane what that little camera can do.
Yeah. And that's one. I haven't decided if I'm going to try the Ace Pro 3, which I probably should, or if I'm going to wait and see what the Action 7 looks like and just order it off of AliExpress. Because I've really been pleased with the Action 6, and it's such a solid camera.
Do you think one generation is worth the jump with the action cameras?
Don't know what they're going to do. I'm very curious.
True.
Like if they do, here's what I'm excited about. If they incorporate the D-Log 2 in it.
Yes.
Right. Now we're talking. See?
You're talking my language.
Yeah. If I get that D-Log 2 in that one, I would sell my 6 to grab one of those because I feel
Gosh, imagine D-Log 2 in an action camera.
I'm saying. And why wouldn't they? I feel like they're right at the edge of it. They already have the tech.
Yeah.
There's no reason that camera couldn't do it.
True. Like they've done amazing with just log, and everybody loves it.
Yeah. Yeah, if they can put that D-Log 2 in there give me 17 stops of dynamic range.
Whatever that means.
Well, no, did you didn't watch must not have watched our episode. That's fine.
No. I've watched
no.
the whole 17 kind of stops talk and like explanations of what it is.
Doesn't mean anything. Well, but I was actually pleasantly surprised that it actually is delivering real 17 stops, because before that we were all like, okay, whatever, that's impossible. Come on, it's not really. It's like marketing speak. But somebody like put it on a test bench and they were like, it's actually doing it. It's actually doing it.
Okay, I need to watch that video.
Yeah. That one, that, and Colden brought it up. They had like all like the scales, and they were showing all of the technical stuff of how it was actually delivering all of that dynamic range. Now, at the end of the day, when we smash everything down to YouTube and it's like 6 stops.
True, but then
but
it does matter in color grading a lot.
It does. Yeah. Yeah. And you can bring back so much with it. So yeah, that really raised my eyebrows, because at the same study, they kind of beat up my lovely Luna, and it's not even delivering the full 14 stops that it claims.
Oh no.
And I was like, oh no, but whatever. I still love my Luna. And that was the bottom line is I'm really happy with the end footage. And even if it's only effective 10 stops, I think that's where they landed, somewhere in that range. A couple of years ago, like, we were paying a ton of money to get cameras that did 10 stops of dynamic range.
Sure. You could not have it in this form factor.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's fine. It's fine. I'm licking my wounds.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I'm not upset about it at all.
Not at all. I'm not bitter at all. But the fact that they're actually delivering 17 stops. So if they could put 17 stops of dynamic range and D-Log 2 and an Action 7, man, would that be a camera? That would be a
pre-order immediately.
I know. Yeah. Even if I have to go to Canada and bring it to home, it's awesome. Now, the only problem is we could face the same problem with those as the drone, because, as you know, the problem with DJI cameras is you can't even use them until you register them.
Yes.
And you have to do the whole thing with the app. You can't just turn it on and start shooting.
Yeah, that's true.
And if DJI decides to just turn off access, I guess we could still get it through it with a VPN, and log in from Uruguay or something.
But then if it's going to be very heavily app dependent and like AI features and all of that, it's probably going to want to do the same thing of like relogging every 30 days. And it's just going to become a giant hassle.
True.
So actually, yeah, we're really hoping for Insta360 to step up their game.
Well, and they are, and this is a double-edged sword. The other thing I forgot to tell you in that new Luna Pro, which I hope they make at least available in the Luna Ultra, the same thing they're doing with their action camera, the auto editing stuff.
Oof. Which I don't think people actually need that. Like, come on.
I think there's some really cool applications if you're a YouTuber, where like if you want to just create some content quick, like I'm going to go to the baseball game tonight and just go and put it out. Hard to complain.
Yes, but when you watch a video like that, are you going to feel what you're usually feeling from people that are actually putting in the work?
Probably not.
And are you going to benefit from putting out a video like that?
Very good
That is
question.
the real question. Because, if you're not putting in effort, it is felt from the other side too.
Very good point. We're going to be getting schooled by Sofi over here. I don't know. No, this is good. That's a very valid point, but I don't know the answer to that because I haven't seen the output yet.
That's true. We really got to see it. But I love AI and I love using AI as a tool. I use it a lot. But whenever I think about people like cutting corners and relying on it too much on doing the work that they really should be doing, like generating scripts and rating them to a T, or I've seen like when Claude was first getting those like skills and people started using it to edit videos, I would see a lot of videos on YouTube being like, this video is completely edited and like posted by Claude. And like, you could really feel that it is not entirely AI slop, but it is 80% AI slop. I'm like, Nobody needs that. If you are trying to build your channel on videos that are edited by AI, you're probably not going to go anywhere.
Good Sophie. Drop of knowledge. All right.
I'm all for organic.
I think you are right on that. And I may have to backtrack that because we just had the conversation, Colton and I, because Colton was very upset with Matty Hapoya and his whole
thing. Yeah.
pitch.
I watched his video, his rant about that.
Oh my, he looked upset. I was like,
yeah, well, I listened to it in my car. He sounded upset.
Yeah, he was upset. And it was, there's some points in that go to what you're saying, that without the art of someone crafting it, it does lose that potentially, and the viewers will feel that. And that's a very good point, to be wary of that.
Yeah.
I think the other application for that might be for family home videos, maybe.
Possibly. But also imagine AI selecting parts of the footage that it thinks are important and you trusting it completely and missing out on some moments that actually happened, but AI didn't seem as important, and that be your home video.
Yeah, true. Good point.
I'm not on board. I'm sorry.
It's okay. No, this is a very valid conversation. I love it. I'm sad that this is happening at the very end of the show. I'm going to cut this out. This is going to be a standalone little product also, because this is a very good conversation. I appreciate your thoughts on this. Yeah, very much so.
I agree.
Well, Sophie, it was a pleasure, as always, to talk with you. We burned through an hour without even having to try, even though we forgot one of the things we were going to talk about.
Imagine if we didn't forget.
We'd be still talking.
Yes.
But thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you'll come back on again soon.
Always a pleasure.
All right. We'll see you all soon. And if you enjoyed this, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you soon.